Hey guys, it's Abby. I'm back with another video, and today I didn't really know what to film. I was kind of in a funk, like don't know what kind of video I want to make right now. And then I looked at my TBR pile and I realized that I bought a good chunk of books in the last, well, how long have we been into March? 7 days. Pretty bad. Actually, a couple of these I bought a little bit towards the end of February. But I mean, just in the last couple weeks, I've bought a lot of books. And a good 8 books. So that's how many I will be showing you today. The first 2 I bought when I was in a town that's kind of near where I go to school. It's like 45 minutes, so we drove up, down, that way, just across into Kansas. And it's a place called Lawrence, and it's a big college town. It's where Kansas University is, and it's just kind of near where my school is. So sometimes you can go up there and just like, I don't know, shop or like look around because it's different than what we always do. And they have a lot of bookstores there, local bookstores. And so I went to the Raven bookstore and I bought 2 books. So the first one that I bought is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson. That's a tongue twister. Frances Hodgson Burnett. And this was my favorite book when I was growing up. My favorite movie. I love it, and when I saw this edition, I could not help but buy it because it is so pretty. And it was just my absolute favorite book. And so it was a little bit of a nostalgic buy, and I'm excited because it's so pretty. And I'd really love to get more of these editions. I think this is Penguin. Yeah, I see a lot of people on BookTube getting ones like these, like the Jane Austen editions of these. So I really want to get The Little Princess because that was also my other favorite book. It was The Secret Garden and The Little Princess, and those were my absolute favorites. So that was one of the books that I bought at the Raven bookstore. And then the second book that I bought was Heap House by Edward Carney. And this is one that it's not like I've heard a lot about this. It's really just something that I started seeing in bookstores, and I kept seeing it. And I was really intrigued, but I could never find the first book in the series. And I always see it in the young adult section, but I think it might be a children's book because it says ages 10 and up. So yeah, and I don't know what drew me to it. It was just really interesting looking, and there was something about the artwork that I was really interested in. And the artwork is kind of throughout the book, where whenever it changes perspective or point of view, it'll have like illustrations and stuff. So basically what this book is about, from what I've read on the back and what I've kind of read, is that it follows this very large family, and they live in a house that they call Heap House because it's surrounded by like garbage and junk and stuff. And the way that the people in this family work is that they all like can have these different birth objects. So they get an object given to them at birth. And this guy on the cover, his name is Claude, and he can hear each of the objects speaking. And then this girl moves in with them because they find out she's a relative or a cousin or something, and they try and solve some sort of mystery of like a missing doorknob or something. I don't know. It's really weird and interesting, and definitely something I would have picked up when I was reading a lot of middle grade. So yeah, that's exciting. It's really cute. My cat is laying underneath my tripod. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't feel like resetting up, but she's just laying down there. How freaking cute. I kind of started reading a little bit of it just because I wanted to get a feel for what it was about, and it just is so kind of creepy and gothic, and it reminds me so much of Lemony Snicket and the series of unfortunate events. So I was really intrigued, so I bought it, and it is really cute. It's actually got really good reviews, but again, I've never heard anybody talk about it, so I'm excited to see it. And it is a series, and I've seen the other books out and about, so I wanted to start a new fun series, maybe a new middle grade series. I haven't read a good middle grade book in a long time, so that's what I picked up. You guys may have seen this in my March TBR if you watched that, but I picked up You by Carolyn Kepnes, and I found this at the grocery store, which is just really bizarre. And oh, come here, kitty. God, I know. Oh, you got your claws in me. Cutie, you like that belly rub? Yes. Oh, she's so cute. Anyways, I had picked up You by Carolyn Kepnes at the grocery store, which is weird because I never find books at the grocery store, but it was in the bargain book, so I got it for like $3, and it is really interesting. I started kind of reading it, but not really. This is told from the stalker's point of view, and it's really creepy so far, and I feel like there's some sort of bad stuff happening. You can feel the buildup. I've never read a adult thriller mystery, so I don't really know what like the tropes and the formulas are of that thing, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's interesting and the cover's beautiful and everybody says it's real crazy, so I'm gonna see where this goes. I ordered a couple books online. One of them is not here yet, but I figured I'd include it in that, and that is The Wrath and the Dawn, and this is the book pick of the month for YA Warriors, which is a book club that I am one of the host people thing of, and I don't have it with me yet, so I haven't started reading it, but I've heard a lot of mixed feelings actually from people that I know on BookTube, so I don't really know how that's gonna go, but we'll see, and hopefully it's good. I'm still gonna read it, I'm still gonna try it out and see if it's my thing, but I don't know, we'll see. So the next two books that I ordered, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I forgot another one, which I don't know where I left it or where it is right now. That is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. It is the second book in the Raven Boys series, so I can't really say much about it, but I'm really excited to read it because I absolutely loved the Raven Boys. And hopefully I'll fly through this one. I know this one has a lot to do with the Ronin, which is interesting because we didn't talk a lot about him in the first book. He was kind of this mysterious character that's, you know, being weird and creepy and scary, and so I'm really excited to get more into his head and into his life. Another one I ordered off of Amazon was Cress by Marissa Meyer. I'm currently reading this one too. Obviously, I've kind of dug into every single one of these books, which is kind of horrible, but whatever. I am really excited to keep going with the Lunar Chronicles. This one's big. I didn't realize how big it was going to be. Every time someone shows it on camera, it doesn't look nearly as big as it actually is. And this one follows Cress, so it's a play on Rapunzel, and she's in like a satellite and she's stuck there. She's got the long hair and everything. But I'm really enjoying this just because all of the stories are starting to intertwine, and it's really exciting because Cinder's in this, and Scarlet's in it, and Thorn, and Wolf, and Kai, and I'm just really happy because they're finally all coming together, and I don't even know what's gonna happen because there's still a third book, and all these novellas and things like that. So this world is just so extensive and expansive, and I love that about the series, and that's why I love it so much. And it feels so nice just to have all of them lined up against each other back here, and it's really exciting. I'm just glad that I have this thing. I'm just really happy about it because I want to have all of the books in the series, and right now I'm doing all paperback because it's cheaper, but I don't know, maybe I'll go to hardback if this becomes my new favorite series, and I'm just really excited. I want there to be a box set just so I can, you know, blow all that money at once and have a box set, but I don't think there's a box set yet because they put out Stars Above and Ferris and stuff like that, so they don't have all of it together, I don't think. If there is a box set, let me know. So the last one that I ordered off of Amazon was Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher, and I didn't know that Colleen Hoover wrote anything like this. I was watching a video of like someone going through every single one of Colleen Hoover's books, and they mentioned Never Never, which is I think 3 books. There's part 1, part 2, and part 3, and it looked really cool and different than most of her books, and I do really love Colleen Hoover. Hopeless was one of my favorite books, and I'm not finished with Maybe Someday, but it's pretty good, and I like her writing, and so I didn't know she had this, and the cover really intrigued me. Basically, what it is these 2 kids, teenagers, they wake up, or they are in school one day and they don't remember anything. Like, they remember basic human things and how to work cars and stuff like that, but they don't remember their classes, their teachers, their friends, anything. And they realize that they're dating, or that they were dating, and everyone's talking about how they're a couple, and both of them can't remember anything. So they are trying to figure out what happened to them for why they can't remember each other or anything. But regardless of whether they can't remember each other, they still feel really strongly about their connection because they can tell that they were in love once, and there was some family issues. And I did dig a little bit into this one too, and it's super, super small. I mean, barely 100 pages, so I'm just really excited, and I will definitely pick up the other ones because I really enjoy both of their writing styles. I don't know if I've read anything by Taryn Fisher before, but I've definitely heard her name. So I think this is a really cool mystery love story, which is different than what Colleen Hoover usually does. So the last 2 books that I got are ones that I picked up at a bookstore called Hastings. They sell used books and new books and video games and all that kind of stuff, kind of like half-price books, but more extensive. They've got a lot more stuff. And they were having a sale, so I got both of these books for $8. And the first one that I picked up is Ferris by Marissa Meyer, because I plan on reading it after Cress and before Winter, and then after Winter I'll read Stars Above. But I want to know more about Queen Lavanna's story and everything, and I've heard people really like this one, and this is definitely my favorite cover in all of the series, and I think it's so gorgeous. And right now I hate Queen Lavanna, so I really want to maybe get some of that sympathy that people are talking about and adding depth to her character, which I think is super, super cool. And then the last book that will be in this haul is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. I wanted to read this one before I read Salt to the Sea, because at first I was not even going to bother because the hype was so excessive, and I'm so not a historical fiction type of person. I'm really, really not into it. I think I've read maybe 2 historical fictions in my life, and I don't know why I've been so turned off from them, but I know that Ruta Sepetys' writing is so beautiful, and I recently started writing a historical fiction novel, so I was like, okay, I need to read historical fiction if I want to write historical fiction, regardless of what time period I'm writing in. Like, I should educate myself and read some of the bigger ones, and so I definitely wanted to start with Between Shades of Grey and then read Salt to the Sea, because they're both really, really inspiring stories, but I wanted to, you know, kind of read this one first because I've heard that that is helpful to the other story, I think. And this book is about World War II era and Joseph Stalin, and it follows a girl and her family who get taken by the, I forgot what it's called, but it sounded kind of like the Russian version of the Gestapo, and this takes place in Lithuania, which is something people don't usually talk about. There's the Soviet secret police that take them, and it's such an interesting story already, and it's just, there's maps in this that show the journey that these characters take, and I think it's so inspiring and interesting, and I really, really love that aspect of it. And I don't know why historical fiction has always sounded so boring and bland to me, but I really, really do love this book so far. I like learning about these different experiences that people have, and I'm excited to read this. And I think I might pause reading everything else that I'm reading right now to pick up this one, because I'm only 24 pages in and it's just so beautifully written, and there's just something really, it is really heartwarming and kind of puts you, when you want to read something a little more, like really pull at your heartstrings and really expand your thoughts on things. And I'm rambling, and that is that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mid-month, beginning of the month book haul. I'm probably just going to call it mid-month because, you know, I told myself I wouldn't buy books in March, and look what I did, so I really don't even know what the rest of March is going to look like. I'm going to try and not buy any books. If I do, it'll be online, and that is going to be the hardest part to do, but I am going to be out of town the last week of this month, so hopefully I don't buy very many more, and this will just be my March book haul, but I'm not gonna get too hopeful about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this haul. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in my next video.